Well, hello and welcome to the wrap. This is a show about all things Zwift from the last week, racing, events, tech, fashion, you name it. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's also a podcast you can download anywhere that you do download your podcast. Make sure to search the wrap, and Zwift should pop up real quickly. I'm Nathan Guerra, and Anna Russell is sat next to me virtually out of New Zealand. I'm in Wisconsin, the USA. And today is episode number 68. It is Thursday, November 2nd, 2023. Well, at least where I am for the next 30 minutes. I believe it's nighttime over in New Zealand at this point. And I just unmuted Anna if she had anything to say about that. And so, what do we got going on this week for you? Well, we're going to talk deep diving into Zwift Academy, as that's a pretty big deal each and every year. It is the program that you can get involved in to get awesome workouts on Zwift, as well as two people can find a pro contract with a men's and women's pro team, Canyon SRAM, as well as, is it still same sponsors, Alpecin, Kunik, I think? Correct. Yeah,
it's a bit of an update there. We'll talk about slight change.
Right on, slight change. Right on, and so that's pretty awesome. One of the coolest things every year, and Zwift definitely have committed greatly to that talent identification idea that they have touted from the get-go. Really, Zwift tutorial update. Just got that in the notes as well. Pretty cool to see that there is an update to that. Also, we're going to be talking about carb cost, the study report coming from Anna directly out of her own backyard, where she had to starve herself and listen to Taylor Swift. So we'll hear all about that and ride her bike. Jersey pick of the week is one of the coolest ones that are out there, not just because of the way it looks, but it is the owl kit. It is the older women in Lycra kit. I absolutely love this kit because the owls have been a part of the TTT for the longest time. I'm really excited to talk about them. I got introduced to them as this like amazing team of ladies that every week showed up, and especially through the pandemic, it was so cool to see them. So I'm excited to highlight them. Well, let's get right down into it as usual, though. We start with what have we been up to for the last week? We'll start with Anna, as we usually do, because this week I haven't been up to much.
Oh, come on. What have I been up to? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, I did like my triathlon session on Saturday. So that was very exciting. Actually I haven't done it in ages. So like a full swim, 19 by 100 bike session. And then on the track, 16 by 300.
Yeah, that was the part that I was a little bit wondering about when you talked about doing that last week. First of all, exciting and triathlon, those two words, I'm not sure they actually ever go together. But then there is the track. Like, how hard were you going on those 16 efforts by 300? I mean, 300 meters is like, I remember running the 400 and I like died every time I ran the 400.
Yeah, so equivalent of like a bike set. It wouldn't be like, I didn't finish each 300 like hands on knees, like heaving, I'm going to be sick.
Okay.
But it was sort of finish. It was actually very similar to a bike set I did last night where you finish and you just don't get enough rest to clear the lactate. So every 300 just gets a bit harder. And then the last ones, your legs are just like really, really worked over.
Rubber band legs.
Yeah. So
see, I got some running. I got some running in the background. Now putting that with the bike, I don't know.
Come on, I'm gonna make a triathlete of you.
She was trying to get Gabby this week. We were having some messages, and she was like, "Come to the dark side." Da, da, da. And I'm just like, dude, no, we're.
Yes.
Obi-Wan, help us. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I should love it. But yeah, and then had a race, actually, local swim run race. So no biking, but it was swimming in the ocean and then running along the beach for a while. So that was a bit of fun. And you finish with like a big burger and a beer. So it's just like one of those great, you can tell we're coming into summer,
That's how they get them
right?
there. That's how they get them there. The burger and the beer, because there's no bike involved. What are we doing?
I know. Except how bad is this? I'm standing on the start line and someone like leans over and turns to me and is like, are you in the right Zwift category here? I was like, what?
That's so awesome. God. That's so cool. So
yeah,
really?
It was a fellow Zwifter. I was like, hello. He's like, right on. I was like, oh my God, I'm such a geek. So that was quite a bit of fun. And then I've been doing, I did this workout on Tuesday and I was like, I looked at it before I got on. I was like, I can't stream this. Like, I actually think I'm going to cry in this. And I cried like a few times.
Was that really?
It was, and I messaged Claire during the workout. I was like, should this be this hard? Like, I have cried a couple of times already. She's like, no, that sounds about right. I was like, oh God. So it was like 5 by 5 minutes, but at a red. So the color of the 5 minutes was red. And I was just looking at it going, oh my God.
Yeah, those are the hardest workouts that exist. Like those are,
oh my God.
Yeah. And it's essentially, they're almost failure workouts usually, depending on how you set them up. Yeah. I mean, what was it called? The Gorby on Zwift.
Okay. So like one of the,
it's similar to the Gorby. They're set up to fail. Mike McCarthy put the Gorby in, I think it was. And we asked him, what's going on here, Mike, when he first put it in, track world champion. And he was like, yeah, and everyone was like, I can't do this. I can't complete this unless I change my FTP. And he was like, yeah, that's the point. These are the kind of workouts that you're supposed to maybe fail. Like, let's see how far you can push yourself. But
so I like the last 2 reps, like you could see the graph at the bottom. It was like straight, drop to 0 for like 15 seconds. And that was me going, I can't do it. And then like, okay, come on, you can do it. And then like picking it up again. But yeah, I was like, I'm not streaming this. I might stream the next one because I think mentally I'll be a bit more okay with the failure part. Whereas this one, I was just like, I'm a failure instead of like, it's fine.
Yeah, and that's that VO2 stuff that like really can have a difference of like breadth of how long you can handle it essentially. And if you do, I mean, if you do complete more, you've gotten stronger, right? Because a VO2 effort can be between 3 to 6 minutes, or even some people are crazy. It can do a little more. So like, once you get into doing these more often, you might actually see some performance gains where like you failed at 3, you failed at 3.5, 4.5. So
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping. Oh, and I did a group ride and Eric Min was on it, which was really cool. I
really,
did yeah, it was like I've been doing a lot of the new roads. Just I rode them with my kids. I've ridden them in a group ride. I've done some workouts on them. I love them. I just absolutely love them. And Eric Min was on this one. So it was quite cool. And I do have a question to the audience, which is in the Aztec area, there's a beautiful purple color or blue. There's a bit of a like
puce.
divide here. Is that puce? No way. Puce is like pink. But in my Twitch stream last
I
night, we
called it
came up with
something.
like
Maybe it wasn't puce. I called it something. I know what you're talking about. And I thought I said something about it
no,
actually on one of my
puce is
streams.
pink.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
but it's
right.
beautiful, right? So we thought
What
maybe
was
like an
that?
indigo or a violet or a cobalt. I think cobalt's too blue.
Cobalt,
Um,
indigo. Hmm. Do you
yeah, I
have a?
reckon
You should
indigo.
send me a picture if you got one. Did you take a
Yeah, I'm
picture?
just Googling indigo. No, it's not quite indigo. Anyways, if anyone knows that particular color as like a
We have to look at
uh
that actual section of course, though. We need some judgment here. We're
yeah, I
unprepared.
know.
I'm so
Okay, I'll find a
sorry.
picture while you're talking. It's a RG. If anyone knows the code to what that color is, though, it is like one of the best colors I have ever
You can, if
seen
you have a
anywhere.
screenshot, we can get that. We can get that actually. There's a little thing you
Oh,
just like put it in, and it'll give you
oh,
the color scheme for it. Like,
oh. Well, I'm glad I asked. And what have you been up to while I find this color and you can put
oh,
it up real quick?
so last week we had. Are we already 2 weeks out? No, last week we talked about what happened at the Alp,
Mhm.
right? Last week, so I feel like it's been forever. But last week it was like, oh, I'm hurt. And then the next day, I realized I'm way more hurt than I thought I was. And
Oh, that
I was
sucks.
not, it was like essentially now today was the first time I've existed without continual pain. And maybe even at the point where I'm starting to get where I can exist in positions with my body
Mm.
that don't even have annoyance slightly for a little bit of time. Like, so the back got pretty bad after last week. If those that haven't listened to last week's episode, right before the Alpe d'Huez Zwift race, I was about to go do my weigh-in. I went to go put on some socks and I hit the floor well, it wasn't like lightning bolt. It was like a slow like turning of a cork or something like that happened
Oh.
over about 30 seconds. The next thing you know, I'm on the ground and then I couldn't move. And so, anyways, I'm not going to go listen back to the last episode if you want to hear the whole story there. But between now and then, I've been to the Cairo 3 times, adjustments, looked at it, and we've gotten better though. We've gotten like I was worried for about 2 or 3 days because it didn't seem like it was getting better. Waking up 4, 5, 6 times a night, can't get out of bed, figuring out how you even roll out of bed. Like I had to do these super tactics to not have even like I mean
Oh.
like out of bed tactics that were really funny actually if you were watching it, like where like I'm gonna like get close to the side of the bed and then slightly like let my knees drop so my back stays
Oh
straight so I don't
God.
have to bend upward, and then I have to do a lunge to get up in a special way. It was like you look like you're doing Mr. Roboto like dance to get
Oh
out of bed.
no.
Oh, it's so bad. So that's been my week. That's essentially been my week. But
Oh.
the whole time as an athlete who's extremely competitive, all I can think is how much fitness am I losing? How much? And I'm a coach. I know I'm not. And I said it in pre-productions, and I was like, "You're a coach, Nate. You haven't lost anything." And I'm like,
Oh my God. You haven't lost anything. You'll be fine. It's actually you probably need a little bit of a break. You've been going so
Yeah,
hard, right?
yeah, probably. Yeah, so I got on the bike today. I asked the doc yesterday, can I get on the bike? And he's like, only if you don't bend like over at all. Like you have to stay straight. Like you have, and I was like, all right, I'll put my mountain bike on my Zwift hub. I have a Zwift hub with a cog. And I can put my mountain bike on there and I can sit straight up. So I was like so happy that I could actually ride. And so I just did like super posture. Like the posture you kind of see me holding right now. I did that the whole time and like kind of reached forward here and there to hit the click for different gears. And I was able to hold kind of like a zone 2 the whole time, which was I was actually surprised I would even do that. And like took breaks. I did some yoga in between. You can watch the stream back actually if you guys
Oh
want to.
my
But like,
God.
but I got through an hour. I did an hour on the
Oh.
bike today. So I'm excited about that, which is really funny because I went from doing 30-hour weeks at like 300 watt like for 3 hours straight to like, I did 150 watts for an hour and I'm happy.
Okay, good. But I think
Yeah,
you probably needed a break. I think you, to be honest, like I said to you in a message, I think you'll come back stronger. I
I
think it was a good
appreciate that.
indication. You probably needed just to back off for a little, and yeah, I think you're going to be good.
Next thing you know, we're setting records. Hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Exactly.
We'll
Here we
see what
go.
happens.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it'll
I
be good.
sent you a picture in Discord of the color. Um, so at some point,
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of like it's purpley bluey kind of deal
huh.
there. Maybe a
What
violet, but that might
is
be too
that?
crazy. Yeah, but there was a bit of chat on my Twitch stream about what that specific color was because I'm loving it. Like, I don't know who else has ridden the new roads. I'm assuming everybody, but I actually did a really great workout on them. I forgot about that. It was an hour and a half ride, and I had to do 4 full effort sprints just within the ride, but with like a lot of rest. It was perfect on that course because I like rode along the desert, then went into this, and then they have those 4 sprints, and I just sprinted each one of them and then just recovered to the end of the route. It was amazing. It was just absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that's a good workout. That's a fun little.
Oh, it's just a fun little way to kind
Yeah,
of make an hour and
yeah,
a half ride
yeah.
entertaining.
That's fun. Like that's a cool little, exactly, cool little fun workout. Um, I really like that there's 4
Blurple.
sprints. I really like that there's 4 sprints in a row on one section of course like that. I think that's pretty cool. I think
Yeah, it's a
that's
lot more rolling than I thought as well.
mm.
I thought it was going to be dead flat, but yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it because it's when we had oh, what was the one in the sandy area? Was it Urakazi of the Makuri Islands when that got released? I just feel like I didn't give it the sort of airtime it needed because when it got released, I think I was right in the middle of doing something else and I just couldn't really get on Zwift and ride it. Whereas this time, I feel like I'm really like I've ridden the new roads probably like 5 times this week, so I feel like I'm giving them a good sort of hit out.
Is there something about the fact that it's in a familiar space that's very
Yes.
simple as well, though, that you can just like go ride and you just get it? Where it's like there's not
Yep.
turns or anything. It's just like boom. You don't have to
Yeah,
like
I
do
think
any
that's
kind of,
it.
yeah,
No, actually, that's a really good point. And I think as well, just it being in Watopia, like
yeah.
you can kind of go through a bit of familiarity. Jungle must be getting like so many more people in there. And I got to say, I did one of the routes and I was like, damn, this is a hard race course. Like it was was it the big one? It was like 50K. And you kind of went in and you did the new road. And then you came out of the jungle with that super long, draggy
Steady
climb
climb,
for
the right one or the left
ages.
one? Which like the one that's
You
on
didn't,
the east
I think the
side or
right.
the west side? Like
You
you
didn't
go.
do the bridge. You didn't do that like
Oh no, I think that's
wobbly
left side.
bridge.
You go through the water, the under
Yes, yeah,
tunnel,
yeah,
the
yeah.
tunnel area. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay, yeah, gotcha.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And they've rejuvenated the tunnel in the
That would be the
jungle. So
west
it's
side.
just
That would be the west side if we look at the
west.
map. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, and the tunnel through the jungle is beautiful now. Like just amazing what they've done there. It's actually made me now again want to get the lighting behind my TV screen because going through some of these areas with the colors, I'm like I'm such a sucker for that purple color that I'm like, yeah, I think I might have to get that. Yes, the big ring. Sweet cyclist come in. It's called the big ring. It's a good
Yeah,
one.
and
50K. I loved it.
there's also a Aztec purple hex. I'm being told we've got the RGB numbers and everything. Ivany just gave it all. Like he's on it.
Oh,
Ivany is on
perfect.
it. Wow, over on Twitch there. Thanks, Ivany. Appreciate it.
Okay.
So one thing, did we talk about this already? That they use the cliffside as well. Like on one of the courses, they added that cliffside area, but you do it in the opposite
Yes.
direction than you
Yes.
usually do. I thought
Oh
that
my
was
gosh.
great. And
Yeah.
that's a very underutilized area.
Yes. Yep. It's amazing. I'm so glad you said that actually. I totally forgot. I think it's sugar cookie goes on there. And yeah, because it started, I didn't really know the route very well. And we got off the new roads and then it was like kept turning towards Epic. And I was like, oh God, are we going up Epic? Oh, okay. And I was like fully prepared and we're going. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, let's just do it. And then they took the right. I was like, oh, these roads. Oh, it was amazing. We actually did a race. I think it was like 2024 versus Sarah. So it was like one of those underground races. And I got to pick the
Mhm.
course. It's ages ago. And I picked the course that went on that bypass because it's an awesome piece of road, just super rolling as well. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, great courses.
We got a lot of comments coming in actually about the color that you asked about. This is what you were talking about. That
Mhm.
purple behind the sprint that's going on here. For those that are listening on audio, we're looking at an image right now of the color that Anna is wondering what exactly is this color. So I'm hearing from Alejandro. Good to see Alejandro hanging out here. Uh, Malaya, that he thinks it is Endeavor Blue and Free Speech Blue, both close to indigo. So your indigo was
Yeah.
a pretty good
So do
guess
you know what
there.
it reminds me of a lot? I don't know, you guys must have this. Have you ever gone swimming in the ocean with bioluminescence?
I've never,
Okay,
um,
it's
but
if you
I've
want
seen
like a
videos of it.
crazy trippy experience, you can do it a lot here in New Zealand. But yeah, you go swimming in the ocean and there's little phosphorus bug things, and when you swim, they light up. And this
Hmm.
is the color of that for us. And I think that's why when I ride through, I just get this like awesome. I just want the light all around me in that color. I think I am going to get that light system. Aztec purple hex. Okay. Because it
Hmm.
is stunning. It's made this whole route worth it for me. I could just hang out in this
Yeah,
Aztec
and
zone
isn't
for like ages.
there's something pretty like how do I say uh about this color and all the colors that are kind of Aztec colors. Don't you feel like there's like a pastel, like chalky feel to the way the colors come out? Do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah. I
and I
don't,
always
yeah,
felt
I
like
get
they
what,
popped in a way
yeah.
that made you feel like a little more earthy in them or something. Like, and I talked
Yeah.
about why the clay look to it too a little bit. Like they have
Yeah.
that, the way that all of this stuff was probably built was probably through a lot of clay, and then the way they would color it probably had something to do with that too. So I think
Yeah.
the
It's
cool thing is the
awesome.
fact that they use these colors makes you feel a little bit more attached to all that. And you definitely feel like you're entering this new environment, this new world, this new area that has that taste. Almost has a taste to it, you know?
Yeah, and I think it was really fun riding it for my first time with my kids because obviously they just pick up on all the stuff that I might not. And we went through a bit and they're like, "It's a purple jungle. It's a purple jungle." And then the bit with all the tiles and they were like, "Look at all the fish." And I was like, "What fish?" And there's like these fish made of tiles and then we went through the like spooky forest and like all the pine needles were like falling onto the ground and they're like, "The trees are falling." I was like, "Wow, there's a lot of cool attention to detail." And on one stretch of 19K road, you've got like pine needle forest, this Aztec crazy purple bioluminescence area, then this like the mosaic tiles, and then back into kind of a forest, and then this weird, like just straight into the sandy area. And then you're in Titans. I'm like, man, that was like such an experience.
Hmm, totally. And it definitely the way that it's organized then too. That's a pretty cool like Mayan, Aztec, then you're like Pacific Northwest, then you enter like the Fuego Flats desert. And I know we're used to Titans Grove and everything, but it kind of like takes that
Ties it
whole
up.
side of Watopia, yeah, and ties that all together where you're entering all these different biodomes. I think that
Yeah.
yeah, really cool,
Yeah.
and I'm excited. I'm super excited to see where it goes. There's definitely been confirmation that there's a lot more to come with this too. So, um, you know,
Oh, I'm pumped.
I'm
I'm so pumped. Yeah. I'm gonna
pretty
get those
cool.
color things behind my TV and just have a whole, like, out of body experience with it, I think. Um,
Careful with the
so,
supplements, Anna. All right. So,
yeah.
Zwift Academy 2023, you guys, we want to move on to what's happening with that. I mean, obviously, we're so hyped about the expansion because we've talked about it twice now with our experience and what we've been up to. Oh my gosh. Um, so, Zwift Academy 2023 is coming, launching, I believe it's November 6th. If my memory serves me right, that's going until December 3rd, right? Is how long you have to be. Let me see here. November.
Maybe a bit longer than that,
Maybe
actually.
okay, let me double check here.
I
Might
think
not
mid-December,
have. Is
isn't
it
it?
mid-December all the way to there? Okay, well, anyways,
Yeah,
new for
17th of
17th.
December.
Gotcha. 17th September. There's obviously going to be two different things going on with this. If you're unfamiliar, I'm just going to go head over to ZwiftInsider.com. There's a great article about all of the information. But one of the main things in the pushes for it is it has two purposes. If you're unfamiliar with Zwift Academy, first and foremost, it's a global training program for cyclists. Up front, originally, the early on, it didn't really have that jive to it, and then it like swapped up to being more about this
Mm.
global training program. And as it did that, the ability to identify these cyclists also for a talent ID program, which is the second part of this, that kind of was like upfront. The Zwift Academy was just all about the talent ID program, and like it used to be insane, like how hard it was to go through it. And I think it was also kind of figured out like it could serve these two purposes and also not be like 25 workouts or what. I don't know. There was like so many different workouts you had to
Yeah.
complete. Racing wasn't a part of it up front at all. Like it was, and it's really morphed over the years. And I think it's hit a great sweet spot actually for where and how it exists in the community this year. I feel like this year's changes, especially with this is the big one. It's not a world tour contract now. It's
Yeah.
it's actually a contract for the dev teams. And I think there's been a lot of learnings over the years about maybe that's the best way to go.
Yeah. Absolutely. I can. Who did we have on the show? Is it Leah Thorvilson last year? And she talked about it. Go back and listen to that episode with Leah Thorvilson because she was like, I went from riding my trainer to like 2 months later being in a European pro peloton. And she even said like that was just whoa. And I think when I read that, I was like, that is a really, really good idea because I just think that jump, and I think Leah said it so well, it's too much. Like from a trainer to there, like maybe if you've been an under 19, like elite road racer on the road, yeah, the jump to pro peloton maybe isn't so high, but you're on an indoor trainer at home, like geez, that's huge. So I think that's awesome. And there's been a couple of Kenyan dev riders who have now gone up to the pro peloton, so it's obviously a great pathway. Like was it Ballenfind, Antonio Niedermeyer, like there are all these young riders who are now riding in Kenyan, the pro world tour team. So I think it's awesome. I think that's really a smart decision there. And from Elperson too, that they've got a dev team and they've got someone up. I mean, could you imagine like riding around on your trainer and then the next month you're riding around Belgium with Mathieu van der Poel? Like it's like it kind of almost sets you up for failure. Like you need a bit of like development to get to that point.
Yeah, and it's all the points completely taken, and I think that like we seen year in and year out, there's only been one or two contestants that won the pro contract that were able to have any footing in the world tour scene. And it's been on the women's side that anytime we've seen any serious results come out of that in any kind of way, or even like an ability to be involved, it felt like, so I think this is a really good step, good direction to take. And it's going to become, I think it's also a better step in the idea that this is a development program almost. You talent ID someone and then you develop them toward
Yeah,
that top
exactly.
world level. So you can see that the training makes more sense also almost, right? Like
Yep.
train on Zwift, get used to this, and then, okay, now try out this talent ID program where you're doing the workouts here to develop further in your cycling. You know what I mean? And then you get
Yeah.
discovered in your development in cycling, so
Yeah.
um
It's kind of like when you look at the Zwift Triathlon Academy, quite different, but that has worked really well because you have people who go and race. They've got to go race an Ironman, and then they can, if they qualify for the world champs, then they get supported by Zwift and they race in their age group. The equivalent would be like if you get talent ID'd and then you've gone from treadmill trainer to racing Kona as a professional. Like you just be like, I am so like power wise, I might be sweet, but geez, this is like out of my league a little bit.
I totally missed this
What I
one. Duh, Nathan. J Vine. I missed that. Like, of course,
yeah,
on the men's side of things, J Vine, of course. But that was one. Like, of course, that's a.
but I do want to say, like, I mean, Jay Vine has been racing in a
Yeah, he was
professional
at top
Australian team.
Conti
Like,
level. Yeah,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, he was already
yeah.
top Conti level. So
It was that for him was fantastic ID. And even under this, if he'd gone into the development program for Alpecin, he would have been developed pretty damn quick into the world tour. So
Yeah.
I think this still works. So I think the timing of this is really good. It kind of leads you straight into Christmas. I know last year my mum and dad did this and they loved it. Like just having some motivation each week and some workouts. What I did want to talk through is, okay, so there's a little difference here. There's no like baseline ride or finish line ride. You've got to do 6 workouts and 2 races. The races aren't women only, so it's mixed races. Excuse me. And the workouts are, so it's quite interesting. They've got a short version and a long version, which they had last year. But some of the long workouts are like 90 minutes. So they're quite significant. Last year it was like 60 minutes was the longest and like 40 minutes were the short ones. But yeah, the long ones are about 90 minutes now. And the workouts run for about a week each, 6 days each.
Yeah, so 6 weeks total, it looks like about. We're talking about Zwift Academy 6 workouts will be available on demand in your workout folder. So you just jump in, find them in your workout folder. Will also be available as group workouts on the hour daily on the schedule that is November 6th through the 12th is the first one, November 13th, 19th, second one, and so on all the way through the week of December 11th through the 17th for workout 6. Swift says workouts range from explosive anaerobic workouts, strengthen your sprinting skills, through to endurance-focused workouts that will help improve aerobic efficiency, ideal for tackling those hills. So you want to go through, what was the little change up before we hit these workouts? Well, you had a change up, you said, though, around Alpecin to Kunik. Were you just talking about the change up on the contracts?
Canyon.
Or was there something
yeah.
else?
So Canyon used to be straight to Pro Tour team. Now it's into their dev team.
Yeah, and that was
so that's the
okay.
change up for them.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's the only change up.
Okay, gotcha.
So they've got 6 workouts. I just wanted to kind of look at them because I sort of I'm probably going to run these as part of my Thursday night spin session because you can do a meetup and then just get everyone to go in and select the same workout. Now I've kind of got, I don't know, like I find the Zwift Academy workouts, I don't want to say weird, just like, I don't know. If we walk through them, maybe I can like kind of get across what I mean. But we look
Go
at,
ahead. Yeah,
like I think
workout 1, explosive 30s. What do you think?
Yeah, so it looks to me like you've got a ramp up, warm up, so that's cool. Then you've got like a bit of sort of zone 2 action, then a couple of high intensity efforts, and then another bit of zone 2, and then it looks like 2 full on free rides that look like about 30 seconds. So they're saying mimicking attacks on a punchy course, and then 2 full on 2-minute efforts to simulate lace race attacks and a final climb. So I mean, okay, I think I know what it is about them. I feel like the workouts sometimes are trying to be a bit pizzazzy. So like sometimes workouts are just like, you know what I did earlier in the week, like 5 by 5 minute. Like, yeah, it's not pizzazzy, but it's solid. Whereas I think whenever I look through these, I'm like, there's a bit of green, there's a bit of red, there's a bit of orange, there's a bit of yellow. Like it just seems like there's a lot for like one workout. I don't know what your thoughts are, Nathan.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things going on here. I think that you've got talent identification going on in the mix of these workouts. And so, all right, let's see what they can do for 30 seconds and 2 minutes. And that's like a very explosive effort, right? And we're going to give them a workout while doing it. And we want to create a little bit of fatigue, or not even fatigue, but like a little bit of a stress in the body while we're also seeing what these 30 seconds and 2 minutes are like. They're also in free ride mode. So like you're kind of hitting the best of both, all worlds. Like there's 3 different worlds you're trying to hit here. Get a good workout, figure out what these people have so that we can identify certain exercise systems in their body to like select talent. And also at the same time, if somebody is just jumping into their first workout, and they're like, whoa, what just happened to me? It's in free ride, so there's no expectation set on them. So go for it. What can you do? Serves the talent ID, but also serves the fact that some people are don't know how to go for it for 30 seconds or 2 minutes, right? So there's a learning curve on that too. And so I think that may be why you're seeing That part and the
Okay, I
pizzazzy
think I
thing I
know what
get
it
too.
is. Yeah. I think I know what it is. I think it's all of the free riding. So now that you've explained it, I get why. I think free riding just makes me like really nervous. Like
I
so
get
the way I ride is like if I do a workout, I love erg mode. It's just in there, it's set. I just go do it. It's all controlled. I don't like the like, now go as hard as you can. I'm like, I don't want to go as hard as I can. I want you to tell me how hard to go. Maybe it's that. It just makes me, yeah, I've started like as I've scrolled through them getting a bit nervous. I'm like, it's those freaking test yourself, go as hard as you can. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So maybe that's it. Maybe I need to like mentally get over that.
Yeah, I mean, free ride is intimidating, especially the longer ones. That's super intimidating for me as well because when you're an athlete who wants to push and you set an expectation, you're like, well, okay, what is the expectation here? And then you go outside the limits of that expectation and maybe like, and they're kind of weird times, like 8 minutes. I don't really do 8 minute efforts all that often, right? Like in this fatigue fighter,
Mm,
workout number 2. How often am I doing an 8 minute effort? It's after all this threshold stuff. I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know, 300 watts. I'll just kind of, you know what I mean? Like, so there's definitely
yeah.
going to be some guesswork going on there about what to do with that. But I think figuring out and they'll probably have. Here's the thing: is I think DDC though they are really good. Dig Deep Coaching.
No, they're
They're
really good. I
really, really
think
good. So there'll probably be some really good explanations in the workouts themselves about what you're supposed to be doing during that
yeah.
time.
Like I get it. I get like the workouts are like fantastic. I just think it makes me too nervous because I like, and I'm not going for any pro contract, obviously, but it says, like the workout 3, the finisher. So it's like you're going to be doing this is what will emulate professional racing. Do you have that effort at the end of a hard race when it matters most? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think if I wanted to do that, I'd just go do a Zwift race. But I also really want to do the workout. But I think it's just, I feel really bad. If I'm really completely honest, I feel like what I'm going to end up doing is getting so worked up about it that when the free ride part happens, I'll be like, I'm just going to do zone 2. Do you know what, like I'm just so worked up that I can't do it and I'm just going to bow out.
No, you're not. That's not going to happen. That's not going to
Okay.
happen. You're going to go for it.
Oh my gosh.
If you
Okay.
do it
Well,
with a group, do it with a group. Then it won't happen. If you do it with a group,
yeah, okay.
then you'll be motivated to. Are they rubber banded? The groups I'd assume are rubber banded.
Yes. Yeah. The group ones
Yeah,
will be.
I would assume they are.
Oy,
82 minutes, 79 minutes. These are long workouts.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
91 minutes for the finisher. Holy cow. So okay, let's talk about the workout 3 and 2 cuz like these are like pyramids for a good amount of time, whatever these times, 8 minutes, you'll conquer 8-minute efforts that will push you over your
Mm.
FTP to you've already built up some fatigue. I mean, this is a pretty serious effort here. Like, holy cow. And then the
And then
finisher.
have you seen the next one? Workout 4, fast twitch hit.
Whoo! How
You've got
long
some
are those?
challenging. Oh my gosh, that looks really hard. They look like they're about a minute or 2 minutes, and then the last ones are 3 minutes at VO2 max. Oh my god, these are like no joke workouts. Oh, no wonder they got 6 days in between them. You do not want to do more than one of these a week, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So essentially you do this workout and then do your like, lower end training throughout the rest of the week and maybe one other workout or do the race because you can do you have to do 2 races. You can, I get, well, you're not racing maybe every week, but you do, but 2 sessions a week max. Oh,
Oof, yeah.
stay
Oh
rested.
wow.
Steady state.
Okay.
Look at this steady state. How long is that steady state?
It looks like
Whoa.
about 10 minutes.
But it's
Time
an
to
81
exhaustion.
minute. It's an 81-minute workout. I think that's a 30-minute steady state, each of those.
Oh, no. Okay.
Those are 20 to 30
Yay.
minutes, I think, because it's an 81 work. So like maybe not that much, maybe 20, but I think these are longer. I think these are a lot longer on that steady state. Because to really get an idea of your steady state, you've got to be there for quite a bit amount of time.
Yeah. In a real state. You've got to be in a
Yeah.
state. Okay. These are okay. And then the last one's called All Out. You're gonna be in a
that
state.
as a meme. I need that as like a meme. Like somebody needs to clip that. That needs to be an audio feature. And we're just gonna get her like Anna's face coming in. You have to be in a state. Whenever we're talking about really like intense workouts or anything, Anna's just you have to be in a state.
And then the last one is kind of like a bunch of efforts and then a VO2 max capacity effort right at the end for about 5 minutes. Boom. Okay.
Whoa, no,
Ay.
seriously, this all-out burn. Push your limits for with a 5-minute all-out effort in this workout. It's crafted to gauge your max VO2 capacity after fatigue kicks in. By assessing your 5-minute effort post-intensity, you'll be testing your peak aerobic capacity, reflecting real-world competition scenarios. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Fleeman and Gallagher, they know what they're doing. That's who. That's the
Or they
coaches.
just want to. They want to kill everybody.
Okay, race details.
And then 2 races. Yeah, so 2 races. I quite like these. So, there's Scotland's Rolling Highlands. So you do 2 laps for A and B and 1 lap for C and D. So 23 kilometers for A and B, 14 for C and D. Great. I actually liked this course. I didn't rate this course until we did it in ZRL, then I quite like it. And then the second one is Richmond Cobbled Climbs. Awesome. Everyone loves
3 laps. 3 laps of Richmond Cobbled Climbs. No break. You just go right into the hills. Like, you got 1 downhill.
For A and B. Wow.
Oh. So essentially,
2
this
laps
is
for
a
C,
couple
1 lap for
times.
D.
You just go downhill on the other side of Governors. I forgot what the other side's called. Hit Libby Hill after you go through that little. Yeah, Libby, 23rd, Governors. Do it again. Like, it's 3 times. The only break is the little downhill and flat in between. Like,
I always find with this course, I've done it a few times racing, is that I find Libby Hill pretty good. I'm like, yes. I feel good. And then you kind of hit the flat and it doesn't quite flatten off. And then it goes down, but it's that really short down. And then you go up. And that second up, I'm like, I've gone too hard. Like I just pay for the first effort so badly on the second effort and always get dropped. So that'll be my goal. Not
it's
to
a
get
very
dropped on
punchy one. It's so punchy. That's actually one of my favorite courses, honestly, though. It is for just pure racing. If I'm in good shape and I'm gonna go for it, like, let's go. Like, cause it just that course, it just separates the wheat from the chaff. It's just, I mean, it just takes care of business, man. It's just like threshing floor. Get like if you can't hang, goodbye. Oh, you made it for 1. Guess what? The second one is coming real quick. Get out! Like we're going.
I think. I mean, I could see why you'd like it. It's a good one.
I mean, I don't like it if everyone's stronger than me, but
unlocks. That's probably like the most important part.
Okay.
Of this whole thing.
Oh, well, wait. This is the most important part.
I'd say this is the whole reason I'm going to do it.
All right,
okay, you do 1 event, so 1 workout or a race, and you get the whole kit. Wow, just for doing 1 thing.
Wait, what?
Wow,
do they mean?
Wait,
what do they mean? What do they mean?
Okay, riders will unlock new kit as they progress through the program. 1 event, you unlock the whole kit. 3 events, you unlock the cap. Any race, you unlock an aero helmet. And if you do all 8, so you complete it, you get the paint job for your Canyon Aero Road. Aeroed, or however you say it.
But you have to buy the frame.
But it's whatever.
So you know.
It's not that expensive. Yeah. It's the kit, by the way, is really nice. Like I've got to say, they always do a good job with the Academy kits. And this one, oh God, Zwift is just nailing it with this purple at the moment. But yeah, like a deep purple with, I'm definitely going to be featuring this kit, so don't worry. But I won't do a full analysis now. But yeah, it's great. Like, I don't know if I'll care that much about the helmet, but I care about the kit and the paint job.
Yeah, I mean, look at, this is so sick. It's got some Tron to it too. And like, also, I feel like they did a great job on these images this time around. Like, I really feel like they stepped up their creative process this year on the ZA. I really like it a lot. Really like it.
Yeah.
So good looking.
We don't have a picture of the cap yet, so I can't tell you what the cap looks like. I don't know if it's a backwards one or a forwards one or a baseball cap or what,
What's up
but
with that
we'll see
helmet
that.
though? That helmet.
It's the aero helmet. You get it for doing one of the races.
Oh, so
Yeah,
cool.
it's quite good. So yeah,
Well,
there we go.
then they got the whole pro contract rules. You got to be age 18 or older. Graduate Zwift Academy. Complete long version of all 6 structured workouts in both races. Ensure your height and weight are accurately entered into Zwift before you begin the program. Use a heart rate monitor and have a smart trainer or bike with a 2.5% accuracy plus or minus from the manufacturer as their limits. So that's how you can do the pro contract competition. Excited for that as well. Coaches are, for Les, we did say Stephen Gallagher and Dan Fleeman, long-time Zwifters. I actually used to do, Stephen Gallagher and I did some pretty cool ZCL stuff. If you want to go back, way back, when we first got going, 2017, I think it was. Might have been 2017 or 18. We did data analysis of the Tour de France stages. He would get data from one rider from the Tour de France, and then he would make a workout or a ride that would simulate that for the riders. And you could do that.
I remember,
and we
yeah.
would talk it through while they would go through that workout. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did a workout series, I think, similar to that a year or so ago, where they did like Paris-Roubaix, but it was literally from a power file.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went to do one and I looked at the workout thing on the side. I was like, no. I'm not going to do that. Like that is not.
Well,
my workouts.
He adjusts it to your FTP. It's for your.
No,
FTP.
it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was like I need like 3 by 2 minutes something. But this was like 30 seconds, like, boom, 12
boom,
seconds,
boom,
15 seconds. I was
yeah,
like,
because Paris-Roubaix is like full gas hill attack, and then come back to threshold and rah over the top, and it's all over the place.
Oh my gosh, I was just like, oh, I'm not the person who can deal with the craziness of Paris-Roubaix.
I really enjoyed his work though. I mean, Gallagher and I really like those guys. They've been long time Zwifters from the get-go, very competitive even early on in the scene as well when it came to Zwift racing too. So really cool to see that they're still a part of that whole scene, and they've been really one of the main cornerstones of that Talent ID program too. So very good job to them. Big shout out to Dig Deep Coaching and all that they do for the program. So anything else in the deep dive here for Zwift Academy?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be signing up. I'll do a workout a week. Like I said, probably in our the group session I do on a Thursday, because that'll keep me honest and make me do the free rides as I'm supposed to be doing the free rides.
I have never done Zwift Academy. I've never done it because I've always been on the other side of like because we would do interviews and we would do this and we would do, it was always like we had some sort of productions around it. And so I just never participated in any kind of way. And I think this year is going to be the first year I'm going to do the workouts. I'll probably just maybe do them with Gabby or something, but Gabby's all
that'd
in.
Be cool.
She's like,
is she all in going? She's going for the pro contract.
Yeah, she's going
seriously.
For it. Yeah, yeah. It sounds like she's like she wants to go for it. So we'll see how it goes.
I don't know. Maybe a question for another time. But like, that's a move to Europe.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Know what I mean?
I don't see Tiffany Cromwell in Europe very much.
Yeah, I guess, but
yeah, she's over here racing a ton. Cromwell.
Yeah, on gravel though, isn't she?
Yeah, and she rides for Canyon Trail.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
As a part of a Devo program. I don't know. Where do they want to? I don't know. Like that's a whole other conversation.
True. I didn't think about that.
Like,
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and if they want to like extend, like this is way down the road conversation about how that would work if she wins. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. But and I mean, looking at her power profile, like I've told her, you've never trained seriously. You're only getting stronger. Your age is perfect for this. Like everything is like lined up for her. And I'm watching and I'm like, you've got the numbers for this. And if you know, as her coach, I've watched her gain per kilogram of weight that she's been putting on her body from, the suffering from ED a little bit and everything. And then the wattage gains alongside her development with actual structured training, which she had never done before, she's starting to push into the 5 watt per kilogram ranges when it comes to her FTP. She's getting closer and closer and right close. And it's like, she just finished behind Ruth Winder only a minute and a half or so at the Schwamagon. You know what I mean? Who is a World Tour pro, like, and racing amongst lots of people who have been on that scene. So I just, and with it only being the first year of actually at all in any way whatsoever having that structure, she's got a lot of room to grow still. You know what I mean? So much room.
Well, I don't think there's any chance that she wouldn't get selected for the top 5.
We'll see. I mean, there might be a lot of that. I'm not going to say that. You know
I
what I mean?
Like, I'll say that.
Okay, cool. Right on.
I'll say that. It would be the biggest shock of 2023 to me if Gabby's taking it seriously and going for it, that she wouldn't get to that top 5. So anyway, there we go. We can follow that journey.
That so much. I mean, I feel like as her husband and coach to say that is just a little bit hubris. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna like.
I'm the best coach in the world.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna like, you know. But I mean, but secretly, of course, like I'm over her here behind her. I was like, "You got this, babe. No problem. Come on, let's go." Like,
yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'd say 100% she'll get it. So that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool to hear. I always love knowing that someone's like, going for it.
There's plenty of other ladies out there. There's plenty of other ladies out there, I think, who are and guys though
now like, very nervous.
No.
Oh man,
it's not a shoo-in. We have to come on, Gabs, push it. So,
we've got one of the girls on our team. I'd love for her to go for it, but she's only 16, so she's too young. But when I had a talk with her parents, I was like, this is when she gets to that age, this would be something that would be perfect for her as a 18-year-old from New Zealand, where the path to like professional racing is like you're so isolated. I was like, this is a perfect, and that's why you see so many Aussies and Kiwis.
There's been so much discovery from there.
Yeah, because you don't have the ability to showcase yourself like you do with this. So it is, it's pretty amazing.
Well, I'm excited about Zwift Academy. It's going to be fun to watch and be a part of. I'm going to participate in the workouts this year for the first time, actually, see if we can complete it. So, well, all right, let's go to Coach's Corner because every week you've been talking about this crazy carb study where you had to not eat and then listen to Taylor Swift. So, like, are we going to talk about why you need carbs? Are we going to talk about why you need carbs in order to listen to Taylor Swift and still be okay? Like, what's going on?
So I'll talk about, I got the report back. So I was just going to touch on a few little things. I've got to say, like, this week was so much more pleasant not doing any of the testing sessions. Like because I start work at 6 a.m. and I could drive in with my coffee, just like the ritual. I listen to my Star Wars podcast. I drink my coffee. And it's my happy place. And I just found like
to a Star Wars podcast. Do you have a weekly Star Wars podcast? Is this like a thing in your life?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I love
it. It's like listened to at a very specific time on a very specific day.
Yes, it sure
just
is.
Like
it's called
workouts.
Children of the Watch. I'm that person, right? And so like I got out of this routine. So I'd still listen to the Star Wars podcast, but it wasn't the same without the coffee. And then I'd get there. I was like, man, I'm usually quite a positive person, but I felt like whenever it was like, how are you going this morning? I was like, not looking forward to doing this. Like I always felt like I was just like, I don't want to do it. So anyway, he has sent the study overview. So the point of it was, he's saying that there's limited methods of assessing how much carbohydrate has been depleted during a given workout, and it leaves athletes and coaches unclear as to how much carbohydrate should be repleted, so replaced. Carbohydrate utilization is commonly measured using gas exchange, but that's very high cost for people to go do that. Or they can have muscle biopsies, which is also high cost and pretty painful. So he's trying to come up with a formula. So he came up with my formula, which is awesome. So now I can use this formula looking ahead. And so he measured, so I had to go in and I first had to do a VO2 max test. Then I had to do 90 minutes low intensity, 30 minutes low intensity, and then 2 interval sessions, quite hard interval sessions with a lot of free riding, by the way, which was really average. was not good. And he took in all my carbs that I'd had the day before, and sort of averaged it. Anyway, so he's got these graphs, and there's sort of 4 ways that you could come up with a formula, and he's trying to find the best one that most accurately shows your carbohydrate utilization level. So one was using heart rate TSS. Another was using rate of perceived effort. So I'd always be showing this chart while I was doing it. I had to put a line of like what my perceived effort was. TSS or TWD, which was like, just kind of forget about that one. So my rate of perceived effort was terrible. It was like not correlated really much at all with my carbohydrate utilization. And the 2 that were quite correlated were heart rate TSS and TSS, but TSS was like the most. So I have a formula now where my total carbohydrate usage in grams is 10.9 plus my TSS times 1.8. So that's my formula. But what he's going to do from the end of the study is basically pull together all the data and come up with a common formula that people could use when they input things like age, weight, sex, training load. So it's quite I'm quite interested in it. He said for me, because he said that I was like really severely not taking in enough carbohydrate during sessions, because he could look at my food diary and then often I'd turn up and he'd start the gas exchange and I literally had no carbohydrate in my system at all.
10.9, hold on, 10.9 times your TSS times 1.8, or is there a plus? Okay, plus.
No, yeah, 10.9 plus brackets, TSS times 1.8.
Oh, so that's in brackets, the 10.9 and the TSS?
No, it's 10.9 plus bracket TSS times 1.8.
Oh, that's in, okay, gotcha. That's in brackets. Yeah. That's in brackets. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, TSS and so
1.8. Interesting. What? That's a weird, that 10.9 plus. Like that's a weird number to plus on there. Like it's right? So small. It's a small number to add on. That's so interesting. Huh.
So that's for my total carbohydrate use for a session. So he said to me, now I can go ahead and look at a training plan and go, hey, the TSS for that is projected to be whatever. I can put it in the formula and be like, I should have this many grams of carbs during that session. Yeah. So cool.
I want to give people, I want to do something here real quick as a hypothetical to like put this into practice for everybody, because we're talking about carbohydrate utilization. And I think if people like, well, give me an example. What does that mean? So if you're looking at the back of like a gel, and do I have any here? There's a bunch over there, but those, I have some SISs over here. They have about, I think they're 26 grams of carbohydrates per.
That's about right. Yeah.
So let's say Anna goes and does a full gas FTP for 1 hour. You just go, wow, 1 hour, 100 TSS. Okay. Full gas. Right? About, let's say you can play, okay, it takes her an hour and 5 minutes because she kind of like, it's like, whatever.
I started crying.
She does 100 TSS. Okay. That means it's 180 grams plus 10.9 is what you'd have to take.
190.9 grams of carbs is what I would use
to replenish
during that session.
Or during the session.
So that is, during that session, I would burn through 100 and I'll just use a round number, 191 grams of carbs.
Got it. So if you divide that by 26, that's how many of those SISs you would have to take.
Well, not necessarily. That would show, well, I mean, it depends how much depletion you want to have.
Yeah.
And but to completely come out of the session with zero depletion, you'd have quite a few, but I would not do that. Like I'm not going to have, like, it's not saying,
I'm not saying you got to have 7 gels an hour. No, but it's saying, hey, you need to buffer this with like maybe 3/4 or half of this, and then have the rest of your replenishment of the other half of it immediately after your workout.
Right after. And that's what I was doing wrong, is like, I was thinking like, I always just had in my head like a 1 hour intense workout. It's so short. I don't really need to have anything. And so no gels, no nothing. My depletion after was so high. So the thing that I've come out of this with is the carb rate for me for an hour and a half easy versus 50 minutes intense is like the same. I like burn the same carbs at the end of that session.
Say that one more time.
That's
I'm
why.
sorry. I was reading chat a little bit. I really want to get what you were saying there.
Okay. So when I did the hour and a half easy
Yep.
and the 50-minute intervals, my carb utilization for those 2 sessions were basically identical.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Huh.
Which would make sense for that TSS, because if you ride for say 2 hours, your TSS can still be around that 80 to 90, 100 mark, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
Versus
Okay.
a short 45-minute session
Yeah,
that's
okay.
also, yeah. So anyway, that was kind of a bit
Eye-opening.
eye-opening to me,
Yeah.
because
That you're
I
using more sugar than you thought?
underfuel. Yeah, I
Yeah.
underfuel short sessions big time. Like,
Yeah.
I just think short don't need anything. And
So what
there was
about your longer sessions that are like zone 2 or easier? Do you also underfuel those because you think, oh well, I don't need this for this?
no, because for some reason, it must be like my mentality. Like, if I'm doing a long session, I'm like packing in the food. I'm like, cool. Like, I go out for a long gravel ride with my friend. I'm like constantly like taking some gel or some like Mortons or eating a muesli bar. Like, she's like, man, you're eating a lot. I'm like, yeah, well, we're out here for ages. Whereas if it's a short, intense session, I'm like, we're only down here. I'm only downstairs for an hour, So it just didn't like work. And
Register?
then the
Yeah.
other one is I got these. He was like, the biggest thing you probably need to do is do you have them over there? It's called Up and Go. It's like a drink, but it's like cereal. So it's like a breakfast drink kind of.
Huh. We have
But he
stuff
said
that's
for
kind of
me
like that,
it's
but
yeah, he said it's like got the perfect kind of mix for me of carb, fat, and protein to replenish what I would usually replenish. So now I've got a box of them in the fridge.
nice. Right
So there
on.
we go. That was kind of and then he's done all these estimations as well of like the estimated calories you'd burn, but it's not carb specific, so it's not as useful to me, I don't feel. But yeah, you've got like all of that. And then he showed me, like a whole bunch of graphs, like from everybody in the study, obviously anonymized. And everyone kind of showed the same thing. Like TSS was the best predictor of carbohydrate usage. So rate of perceived effort is always pretty shit.
Like really? Huh.
Yeah, for estimating carbohydrate usage.
Okay. That's interesting
Yeah.
too. So if you're going off a feeling about what you should be eating,
It might
stop
not be
it.
right. Yeah.
This isn't
Yeah,
about your
exactly.
feelings. This isn't about how you feel about what you should be eating in any way whatsoever.
No.
This is about the work you're
Yeah.
doing. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Sweet's got a good point. So like you don't need to end the ride carb neutral. So that's kind of not what he's saying. So I'm not saying go and eat 7 gels in an hour. Like, but what it is showing me, like the biggest thing is like my carb utilization on that equation is similar to a long easy and a hard short. But yet I'm fueling those two things totally differently. And probably the bigger thing for me that I take is take 1 gel in a hard interval session that's an hour. I would never usually have a gel, and make sure within 10 minutes I've had one of these drinks or I've had something that's got some bit of carbohydrate to replenish pretty quick. Because every time I turned up for a session, I was completely carb depleted. So that is not good for recovery.
Yeah, and the idea of the carb neutral thing, like you can't uptake sugar fast enough. It's impossible. Like you can't. Like it's not it's if you're doing, at least if you're doing a workout that's actually going to have training response, you can't keep up. It's just not. This is why there's tactics now to try and uptake up to 120 grams of glycogen into the muscles, into the body, to get it across into the bloodstream, and that people are training to get the body to be able to even do that. They're training their guts to do that now, where it used to be 60, and then we moved to 80. Then the suggestions like, and now it's like, well, whatever you can kind of handle, but probably pushing toward 100. Like it's like, and so per hour, we're talking about per hour. And so you can't end up carb neutral if you're going to continuously ride and be doing hard efforts. It just you would end. You're going to be sick if you try and do that. Like your stomach is going to fill up with so much sugar, and you're actually going to hamper your training if you are too high on it, because it will create a bad osmolality. The osmosis in your gut will change to being more than 8% or something. It's like around 6 to 8%. That if you get over that,
Yeah.
it's too thick and it can't cross over into the bloodstream. And then what happens is your body starts pulling water out of your legs and out of your blood. And like it starts going, way, throw water into your stomach. You need all those resources not in your stomach. You need them in your
Yeah,
legs.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly. It's probably actually kind of an interesting one too as a coach that I'd be looking at for Ironman nutrition programs, because Ironman is like the biggest thing that destroys people's races is gut problems. And I think this could be good to be like, hey, this is kind of what we're looking at for you across this whole race. And so we need to, you will end depleted, like absolutely. There's no one who replenishes enough in these kind of races. But yeah, I think I'll be, once he gets it all published and everything and gets it out there, I'll see what the overall general sort of plug your details and equations look like.
yeah, that's pretty. I really like that to be able to get a good handle, because right now I'm, going off of very general, very, very general. And so that's a pretty cool thing to have on board, because the generalizations aren't necessarily specific to what you're burning at any time in your. I wonder,
Yeah.
did he say that would change the fitter you get or the less fit you
Yeah.
get? Or,
Yeah.
yeah, he did. I figured. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be one of the inputs is like training history, or like some way to put in like where like maybe it's a level system or something. But yeah, there's got to be like
Because
your
part of zone
own.
2 training is just fat utilization and getting away from
Yeah,
carb
exactly.
utilization, right? And so right
Yeah.
now your carb utilization's at whatever, and then your breathing and what you're putting out in your breathing rate would change then when you
Yep.
got to better fat utilization. Huh.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, there's a few sort of measures in there. But people who did the study had to be able to ride a certain amount. So he had a sort of level for the fitness it would be. Like it's people who were training basically. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't like
gotcha.
Joe blogs from the public being like, I can ride 10 minutes, So it was fit people. So yeah, I'll be excited to see what it looks like. They've actually got a baking soda study going on at the moment. So I'll see if I can
Ooh,
get
what's
some
that all
insight. I thought you
about?
might like that.
I want to hear
Yeah, I was
about
just
that
trying to
one.
yeah, it was I saw the poster up and I was gonna take it a picture of it at home, picture of it when I went in. It was baking soda plus something else, but I need to go figure out. I'll bring it to the show next week. But it's like they did a test where it was baking soda only, baking soda plus this other thing, and then just the other thing, and
Yeah, I wonder if I can
which
guess
had
what
the
it
best
is,
performance.
because there's two different things. Do you get the same result? They say.
Yeah,
And the other thing, I forget, the chat probably knows. I actually forget, because like a lot of some of the studies that have been done, they show like maybe this other stuff works. And so I'm really interested to see what
yeah.
comes of this, and if there's like a Uber performance from doing both or something. Be
I know
interesting.
that the result was that there wasn't. So it
Okay.
was the baking soda gave the greatest performance boost, and it was basically like level with whatever that other thing was that they added to it.
Gotcha.
So
That would
yeah,
make
but I'll
gotcha.
have it.
Gotcha.
I'll
No,
come
I don't
back to
think
you and
it's
tell you what
ketones.
the other
It's
thing is.
something that does. It's said to do something similar, but get added at a different pathway with grabbing the hydrogen, or whatever it is that the baking soda is pulling out to buffer lactate.
Yeah,
So
it was something
yeah,
that I read and was like, oh, that's random. I never would have thought of that.
yeah, but
But
it
yeah,
gets it at
I'll
it the
tell you.
same way. It gets at it kind of a similar way. But anyways, I can't remember. I watched a podcast on it recently, and I can't remember how exactly it works. Sorry, everybody. We're talking randomly now at this point, but um, I'd be really interested in that, because we in the last, as you know, 2 to 3 months have really gotten into, when it comes to really high intensity workouts, using bicarb, and everybody that we talk to thinks we're crazy, because because we don't take any of the special stuff. We just take baking soda and put it in some water and poop, like down it, like, and we've
Oh,
gotten
does it
so
taste
used to it
right?
that it's like, I don't care. I'm trying. It's not that bad. It tastes like salt water. It's just salty
Oy, oy,
water.
oy.
Like,
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know about it. I haven't got to that point yet, but yeah, maybe I mean it did show it had performance improvements, so there we go. But there's a few other things I need to actually that could be it. I don't know.
Calcium
I'll come back to
carbonate?
it later.
I think it may
Yeah,
be.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Jersey pick.
Well, there we
Here we
go.
go. We don't have the best shot of this one, which I feel really bad
I
about.
know. I
I couldn't
asked one
find
of the
it.
ladies to send me a close up, but they didn't send it to me. So you've got to get it from this. But the owl, so that's older ladies wearing lycra, is what owl stands for. Or older women in lycra. Sorry, older women in lycra. It was just a great kit. I was out. I was trolling through Facebook, and WTRL TTT page had an update where someone said they've got a new kit, and this is what they put up. And I love these ladies. Their whole team is awesome. We had someone on last year from this group, I think, and yeah, they've paired it all with the pink Tron, but it's like just I've always had this thing in my mind that a really cool Zwift kit would just be this pure black kit with nothing on it apart from like one word. And they've almost kind of done that. Like it's just all black. And then they've just got these kind of squares of color. Almost looks like a nebula, like kind of, something in space with like a bright blue instead of pink coming through. So yeah, I just think it looks really simple and really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a great looking kit. And then the main thing for me is I'm really happy that they got a kit in game. These are some really committed Zwifters when it comes to these ladies, and I'm just so incredibly excited for them that they've got their kit in game now. So cool to see. Very committed team time trialists. They're very committed when it comes to ZRL. Everything WTRL, they've been super involved in. So and I think they've formed some amazing friendships as well. And Gabby actually said that's her goal in life is to become an owl. That's her goal.
Oh, cool. That's a good goal. Yeah, yeah, I like that. Yep. I love it.
So
Oh, very cool. I do want to just add one thing because we missed past it at the start, which was the Zwift tutorial. I don't know if
oh,
anyone's looked at this. I went and had a look, and it's freaking amazing. Just for people who are new to Zwift, if you go in and you click on your little profile icon, it drops down, and there's a selection called Zwift tutorial. I'm doing it now because I really want the kit because the kit looks awesome. It's like very retro and fun. So I've got to like do all these like things that I've been doing in Zwift for like 5 years now. But I've done and it just suits me. Like each little box gets ticked off once you do it. So far I've done gone into my garage. So that was great. I went into my garage. And then another one is you've got to ride with a pace partner for 10 minutes. You've got to do a group event, which I've done, and you've got to go in and do a workout. And there was one other thing. So you've got 5 things you've got to do. And then when you tick off all those things, you get this really cool retro jersey.
wonder what the jersey looks like. I haven't seen that yet. Is there? Have you?
It's similar to like if you can like picture this, which is like that old dude, every bike group will have one who wears like the actual jersey, like woolen kind of jersey, and it'll have like that scrawly writing across the top, or across the front of it. It kind of looks like that, where it's like a kind of green color, but with like a tan stripe, and then like says Zwift or something. Like
Hmm,
it's it looks pretty cool. And so yeah, I'm making my way through that. I think 3 out of 5 boxes are ticked.
nice. Where do you click on that? Where do you click for that?
So when you go into Zwift and you see
Yeah.
like the button where it's got your face and you can click on and it says like my profile, there's now a little button under my profile that says Zwift tutorial. And you can go do it. It's actually really good that I'm going to send a few. Oh yeah, click on your face. Yeah, tutorial.
Booyah!
Yeah, see?
Look at that.
Ah, it's so good. I haven't done my welcome ride yet. I need to go
Welcome
do that.
ride, visit garage. Nice. So cool.
Yeah. And then you get like a little jersey. So, and because I think
How
no
do you
one will
know you
think
get
to
a
do this,
jersey? Where does it tell you in here?
Zwift Insider,
Yeah, I
Eric
was looking
Schlange
over there to
knows.
see. I was looking over there to see what the jersey
Um,
looked like, but I couldn't find it.
I was kind of
So
like, it was one of those, do I tell people this? Because it's going to be one of those unlocks that could be a bit of a unicorn and no one has it. Um, so, yeah, but it's actually something I'd point people to who are new because it is quite useful. Like, oh, that's how you do a pace partner. That's a
Mm,
workout. That's a
mhm,
this. So
mhm.
and it has all this writing on the screen while you do it, like, hey, welcome to your first workout, this, and gives you full instructions. I think it's really good. It's quite a nice onboarding thing.
I wanted to also update over at Zwift Insider as well. I just want to tag real quickly here, everybody. They updated the Watopia map poster. So I think that's pretty cool. Now that we have these new roads, they've done such an amazing job when it comes to the poster, actually. So pretty cool. I love how it has all these every little item in here. So cool. You can see all the little places that you can go, etc. So definitely go check that out. You can download it as a PDF. You can also purchase them. I think people have made these into like giant murals on their wall, even. So pretty good job there from
Mm,
Swift Insider. So cool.
I
Well,
love it.
what's
Yeah.
happening for the next week? What's happening?
Oh my god, I've got my first gravel race tomorrow.
What?
That's why
Wait,
that's
what?
why I was late today. Sorry, everybody. I had to drop all the kiddos off with the grandparents. I got my map today. I'm doing a 100-kilometer gravel race, and it's like I just got the map, so it's like kind of you got to navigate it. So I've got the map on my little computer now. Yeah,
No
starts
wrong
tomorrow.
turns.
About
No wrong turns. What's it called? What's it
yeah,
called?
dirty detours.
No wrong turns. Dirty detours.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm actually quite excited. I just haven't done a gravel race. I'm a little bit nervous on the descent still because I feel like I'll get in competitive mindset and just do stuff I shouldn't do with my confidence level. Or it could be really good because I'll just push my confidence level and actually do descents properly. Um, okay, so people are coming in real quick with like, what tires, what tire pressure, aero bars. So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
I don't
they really
know.
want to know your
Um,
setup. They're like all
yeah,
about it.
the aero bars are on my. So I've got this 100K gravel race tomorrow, and then the day after I have my first triathlon race. So I've got my aero bars on my actual aero TT bike set up for this triathlon, which is on Sunday morning. So oh, so this is yeah, I don't know tire pressure. My husband is just going to figure that stuff out for me because I'm still a bit like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. But I am going hydration pack. Now, I wasn't going to because my husband was like, "Oh my god, you're going to look like such a noob. Like it's so dumb. You don't need a hydration pack." But then I watched what was the one Kesha Niwadoma just won? Sugar something.
Yeah, big
And
sugar.
I watched that and I was like, there are pros there with hydration packs. So I've got my hydration pack because I'm chucking in there like just all this extra stuff I need because I'm just paranoid I'm going to have a flat tire because there's no cell reception and there's no assistance. So like it's either fix it or go into a local farm and be like, hi, can you give me a ride back? So I really need to be comfortable and self-sufficient. So I've got the camelback with water, but also like just lots of like an Allen key and some like Dyna plugs and a patch
100K,
repair
you
kit.
said, right? 100K?
100K, yeah. I
I'm
think
looking at the.
1800 meters
Ooh,
maybe.
that's a good amount of climbing.
Yeah, I want climbing. That's what's going to help me win. If there's lots of climbing. Yeah. Oh, you've got it. That's it. Yeah, that's the route.
Nice,
And
Anna.
by the way, like if
Anna,
you
this
if
looks
you don't know New
awesome.
Zealand, like that's in the middle of nowhere. Like you can see the main road is quite far away. Um so those all those areas along the coast, there's like not a lot there. There's no cities around. So it's
Like, what
just
kind of roads are you going to be on? Just B roads? Like super gravelly B roads, obviously, right? Because it's a gravel
I'm
race.
guessing like a lot of farm track.
So, like,
Like, yeah.
is this these sections? So, okay, is this
So what has he
separated out?
said? 83% gravel, 17% paved. So those paved ones will be like any paved farm roads that they've had to do for like milk
Mm.
delivery trucks and stuff.
Oh, and this is the place where what? How do you say that? Wakarutu? Wakarutu?
Yeah, Waikaretu.
Cool. I saw that in some of the advertisement that's like the
Ah, yeah.
nearest
Yeah,
place.
the event fundraisers for that school.
Oh, nice.
So
And you're
yeah, it's
starting
really
at
nice. It's
this
very local.
Nikau Cave Cafe. Nice. Very cool, Anna. That's awesome. Awesome,
I
awesome,
know. So
awesome.
I'll tell you how that goes next week. I'm not too nervous because I'm just kind of like, I don't know really what I'm doing. So it'll be
I want to
fun.
learn about New Zealand now. Ahuroa. Ahuroa is a mountain or something? What
You're
is that?
actually, Nathan, really good with your pronunciation.
Well, I've listened to some Kiwis enough that like I've picked up on like the way
Ah,
you
yeah.
kind of do some things like a little bit. It's closer to
Yeah.
our Native Americans very
Yeah.
much. Very close to the
Yeah,
way
it
that
would
they
be.
pronounce stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot like Wisconsin's really well known for having native population. So, um anyways, I thank you. I appreciate that. I tried. I really tried.
No,
Some
that
of
was
these
really
though,
good.
some of these I can't like how Tawere, I can't, but I mean, I live in Oconomowoc, right? Like, I live like,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
have a lot of
I think
native
you got it.
names
You've
here.
got the vowels. It's all the vowels together.
It
It's
is,
kinda
yeah.
confusing.
I want to like just read these off now and see if I can see how I
Well, you guys
do.
should come and do some grab. I see that Sweet and Whitney have added it to their bucket list. They
Well,
should. There's also an
I've been thinking about that. I actually here and there I'm thinking about coming like traveling and
yeah.
it's time to do some bigger events, other
Well, you
places.
got a lot of friends all around the world, so I don't even think it would be too expensive for you.
So, well, what am I up to? Healing my back, of course. I did ride today. I'm going to try and ride every day now, going forward. And the goal for riding and getting the back better is just do things that aren't painful and get as much blood moving as I possibly can to the area. That's the main goal. And doing cord work. And then, from there, uh, just working a ton on rebuilding, not rebuilding fitness, but probably just getting ready for the next ZGP and perhaps actually coming back stronger. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'll be in the weight rooms a little bit and stuff. So yeah, that's about it for me is just getting the back ready to go again. So this week
Okay.
I got no specific plans like as far as workouts go. It's kind of take it day by day right now to
That's
see what I
good.
can
Don't put
get
the
done.
pressure on.
No, not at all. And then just really 100% supporting Gabby then uh over the next couple of weeks and everything to see
Is
how
she gonna
things
live
go.
stream her academy workouts?
She live streams everything. Guys, if you haven't checked Gabby out yet, Gabriella Nine Guerra over on Twitch because she's doing a great job. She did that. Oh, one last thing. That
Oh my god,
sprint,
that sprint
the
session.
sprint
Ah, I had to miss it.
session.
I was
It was
gutted.
a ladies
Yeah.
only session, and there were 30 ladies. Like
Yeah, it was amazing.
first go,
Yeah.
first go. I'm so proud of her that she put that together and like she took this workout that I like. She's turning like. Anyways, division coaching. Now she's like replicating it and like, okay, here's what you do. And like, it's so
Oh,
great.
I
Like
love it. No,
she's
she
doing a great job.
yeah, I was really gutted. I got held up at work, so I couldn't go. But everyone said it was awesome. So yeah, she did a really, really stellar job with that. Yeah, good job.
You can check out the cool little reel she made. We spent a lot of time on that reel. It's so funny how much time you can spend on those little things. But she made a little reel on her Instagram that like found one of the trendy little like pop 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 like songs, or whatever that like hit it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
And then it was just like chill a little up front to see who's there. And then it was just like every sprint like on like some sort of beat or whatever. So that was a fun little promotion for it if you want to go check that out. So she'll be doing some more of that stuff. And for the ladies out there that listen to the podcast, she is helping out and admitting over in the ladies only group in Facebook. So that's one of the places that she's promoted. If you want to go check that out, that is one of the places you can find it as well in all things for ladies on Zwift. So, well, that's going to be it for us for the wrap for episode number 68. Again, we have been live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's also a podcast. Head over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. It should be uploaded shortly as an audio there on our podcast tab or anywhere that you do download podcasts. You can find it. Search up the wrap and Zwift. I'll try and get the chapters up for this as soon as possible. I'm actually missing last week's as well, so you can jump through if you're just jumping in right now to find all of the topics. From Anna and I, though, thanks a lot for tuning in. We really appreciate all the viewers, all the listeners. Make sure to reach out to us about any topics you're interested in on our social medias. We always pay attention to that. Like, comment, and subscribe as that helps out the channel a ton. And that is our spiel at the end of the show. And we will say ride on and goodbye and see you next week for episode number 69.